It's easy and it's fast. Hi, I'm Gary, and I'm going to make a boneless pork loin roast that's stuffed with dried cherries and pecans. I'm going to be using some butt rub on it for seasoning. So what I want to do is I want this to spiral. So I take it about 3/8 to a half an inch. Looks like I got about a half an inch. And I take her down, she'll fall. And then you keep moving it. A little bit of skill here. You'll see what I'm gonna do. And making it into a sheet. And let's see, I'll make a little bit more. And now you can see from this side what I'm doing. I'm still taking it just a little bit further. And when I get right towards about a half an inch, right there, I'll flatten her right out. And you can see what I've done. And it's about a pound, the boneless pork loin roast. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be rolling it this direction. So I'm going to grab some cherries. And I'm going to be putting more in as I go. And I want to make a little tiny, like wall of cherries here, because that'll be the center. It'll really stand out. And that one, pecans. I like pecans, so that I don't put as many on. I just kind of put them on there. And later we're going to make a cherry sauce using cherry preserves and a little bit of vinegar. See, I'm getting a little tiny little pocket in there, and we're just going to keep on rolling. Well, I didn't say balsamic vinegar is what we're going to mix. Maybe a half a cup of cherry preserves and a couple of tablespoons of a good balsamic vinegar. Let's see, I'm going to turn it around here. It's against me. And then I'm going to tie this pretty tight. And I'm not going to go into how to tie it. There's many ways of tying it. I know 2 or 3. It's just a good butcher's knot, and you can find that information elsewhere. Ties up nice and tight. Cinch it. Cut it. Same thing. Probably get 3 in here. Just make sure you leave plenty of string on the one end, because string's cheap, but the meat isn't. Get it where you want it. Well, it sounds like the oven's up to temperature. One more. Put the string, the ball in there, and it seems to keep it from running away on me. And I put dried cherries in. It's a local favorite. We're in Traverse City, Michigan, known for the National Cherry Festival. And I use a see, when you start cutting it, you'll see the cherries in the center, then they'll kind of work their way out. I use a meat thermometer with a probe, try to figure out about what halfway is. And I mark it with my thumb, and you put her in, and it gets it right in the center. And I go up to about 155 degrees, I pull it out, alarm will sound, and then it'll continue to cook for a little while. So I'm going to get it over top of the pan, and I'm going to use a little bit of butt rub. Butt rub is well known through the barbecue community, and some of the big players in the barbecue cook-offs use it, so I thought, why not? And you can see the knots. I put those on the bottom, and I left the fat cap on there. It'll keep it a lot more moist. You can always cut the fat away before you eat it. And I get it figured out how I put it in the oven, and the cord won't burn. Just put it right on the countertop, and when it gets up to temperature, it'll ring, it'll have an alarm, and that way I can go do something else and I don't overcook it. Use the center rack. I start at 450, then after I get it in the oven, I clear it, and then I go to 350, which is already at 350, and we'll just let it cook until we get up to temperature. That way it'll crisp up the outside, and then the inside will be very tender, and the dried cherries will get moist and they'll plump up, and you'll be able to put the cherry sauce over top of the pecans and the cherries, and it'll be a lovely meal for myself and my lovely wife Laura. You can see here I've got 2 degrees to go on the oven thermometer, and it'll go off, so I'm going to get ready and start the sauce. I'm using Spartan cherry preserves and some Lucchini's balsamic vinegar. I used 1 cup of cherry preserves, and I'm going to use 2 tablespoons or approximately of this balsamic vinegar to just make a very, very simple sauce to go over top of the. I'm going to put it over low heat, and about a little bit more. That's not enough. I don't like to measure. Okay. It's telling me that the meat is done. Take it out. It looks good. And we'll let it sit for about maybe 10 minutes, maybe 5, I don't know. I get bored really quick, so it'll probably be quicker than later. And I'll get this mixing up. Maybe when this gets done, I'll transfer it over to a cutting board and we'll take a look at it. We'll see what kind of magic has happened. And I got some mashed potatoes and some peas. And this probe, I can take that out now and put that in to wash. And you see it doesn't harm the wire being in the oven. Oh, it looks delicious. And I'm going to add some crackers into the sauce. Help flavor it a little bit. need a lot of heat. It's probably ready now. Oh, that's going to be good. Now let's see what kind of magic we've made here. I'm going to grab a plate. And what I'm going to do, I better move this over to the table. I'm going to square it up here. Go. And you can see the cherries and the pecans. Some potatoes. And some peas. And I'm going to grab another spoon. A little bit of sauce on there. Don't want to put too much on. Ruin how good it looks. You can see how nice and brown that is. Well, we started at 450 and then you kick it down. It gives a little texture to it. So that should be it. Thank you very much. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I'm going to enjoy it.